So now let's go ahead and talk about the main three financial concepts that we get a chance to share with our clients. The first one is actually something called compound interest, the rule of 72. And maybe you've heard of it, but I'm going to explain it in a way hopefully you'll never forget and that you can share with other people. So if we take the number 72 and divide it by the interest rate, it'll tell you roughly about how many years it's going to take for that money to double. Okay, so let's take a look and say if somebody had a $10,000 investment in there or a saving strategy and they put that money in an account earning 2%, well, now it's just math. It takes over. So 72 divided by 2% is 36. So approximately every 36 years, it's roughly going to be double. So in 36 years, it's going to be about $20,000. And then 36 years later, it compounds again, and now you've got $40,000 set aside for retirement. And wouldn't you just be elated to say that now I'm 72 years later, I've got a whole $40,000 saved up from my nest egg for retirement, right? Said nobody ever. So it's important to understand how the impact or the importance of getting better rates of return on our money. Now, let's go on the other side of that, where people are about 80% of our population only have money saved in bank accounts. And those bank accounts right now are on average about 0.01% at a traditional bank. And what that means is if you do the math and divide 72 by 0.01%, that number is 7,200 years later. It's going to take for money to double. So we've got to go find better rates of return. Now, I was never a mathematician or a math major, but I did understand a little bit about, doubling. So if I doubled my interest rate from 2 to 4, I would expect my numbers or my money to double as well. However, when we look at the numbers, because of the compounding interest, you actually get 2 more doubles between 36 and 72. So it's quadrupling to about $160,000. So double the interest rate, quadruple the return potentially. And then if we can eke out another little 2%, that 2% matters so much. Look at the impact here. By the time it's 72 here, with that doubling every 12 years, we're at the $655,000 now in our retirement plan. And so that's substantial, right? And so ask yourself, which one would you rather have, the 40,000 or the 655, right? Now, on the flip side of that, the rule of 72 can also work against you. What does that mean? Well, it's just numbers. So you can plug in any of those numbers and start realizing what it's going to take for that number to double. So let's look at interest rates on debt, right? Credit card debt in this country is skyrocketing right now, but let's use another interest rate of about 18%. Well, if 4% goes into 72 18 times, then that means 18 goes into 72 4 times. So now our debt is potentially doubling every 4 years. And so let me get this straight. My money is doubling every 18 years, but my debt's doubling every 4, right? 18 to 4, right? Is there any wonder why people have a hard time getting out of debt? And so we've got to be able to teach these principles and strategies so people can be at least aware of what's available and where they are and how to make any changes or shifts that are necessary.